I'm here with Evanoff, great band from Colorado. I'm Danny Hesher. I just want to ask you guys a couple questions and hopefully get to know you better.
I've been playing guitar for I guess like 17 years now or so. I started when I was like 10, so it's been a minute. And then throughout the years, I picked up a little bit of piano, some bass, some mandolin, stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Play keys primarily. I was a drummer all through high school, though. That's what I thought I was gonna do, but then just fell in love with MIDI keyboards. Once I realized you can make any sound in the world off of a piano, I was like, I want to get good at this. Dedicated the next couple of years to practicing a lot of piano.
I play drums, been playing drums since I was 4 years old. I'm 29 now. I'm not sure the math on the amount of years that is, but I've been producing for 15.
What kind of music did you listen to growing up?
Let's see. I'll field this one first. Growing up for me, it was like a lot of gospel music at first. My parents were really involved with the church, and then like old 50s music. I picked that up from my grandparents. I loved like the Four Seasons, just like stuff from that era. Like the whole doo-wop thing was really cool. And then as I got really into like heavy rock, like Tool and Devil Wears Prada and Gojira and a lot of stuff that I thought was like really cool and tough. And, you know, it was cool when I was skateboarding. That was a big thing. So like that whole cult from there, funk and reggae and bluegrass, and then made its way around to electronic music. And yeah, so a little bit of everything.
Our progression is very similar. My my progression as far as like what I listen to and where I ended up at is very similar to yours.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
I grew up really heavily involved with like classic rock and blues and stuff like that. So grew up listening to like the Hendrix, Zeppelin, the Who, and stuff like really diving into that. And then as I got a little more proficient on guitar, I dove deep into like classic blues stuff like Buddy Guy and Stevie Ray Vaughan and all that. And then it wasn't until like high school or so I started listening to more kind of fusion stuff in the sense of like more pop or music combining electronic with rock and stuff like that. And I remember having this like moment at a concert that was like, wait. You can put together the stuff I grew up with electronic music and that experience of what you get at those shows. And that's when things kind of clicked. So, and then the last few years, I've been listening to a lot more producer and electronic driven music.
My first album was Metallica, Ride the Lightning. And then from there, I was like really into metal and hardcore punk rock, like the Casualties, early AFI, Pennywise, The Unseen. And then jam bands kind of came into my life a bit. My guitar player in my first band was like a diehard Fish head. And so I liked that. And then I went to boarding school, started producing and discovered electronic music. And yeah, so now it's just kind of an eclectic mix of all that stuff.
What's you guys' biggest musical influence right now? As a band and also as individual like musicians.
That's tough.
That's tough.
Do you guys have one? Do you guys have one as a band?
Yeah, I would say like we can all really get down at an Humphreys McGee show or Sound Tribe, Lotus. I think that was like some of the guys that I kind of cut my teeth on and I've stayed a fan of this whole scene. And they still inspire me. And I think inspire us. A lot of our jams, we get pretty excited if it starts to sound like one of these bands that we like.
I'd say our most recent album is most influenced by Humphreys and kind of our metal and rock influences growing up. So like that's currently where we're at.
Yeah,
you're referring to the album that's coming out soon?
Yeah, Singularity.
Yeah, March.
Singularity.
When people are going to be seeing this, but it's about to be out or it's out, and go check it out on Spotify, SoundCloud, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Definitely. I was listening to a couple of you guys' older stuff, which is very dream rock. I hear all of what you're saying about your influences in the music as far as the fusion between like electronic and just like dreamy vibes. As far as the guitar goes, the synth work, all of it is just great. I loved all of it. And then I played one, I think it was like the latest single that's up on Apple Music, and it was metal driven. In a way, the switch up, it was delightful.
hell yeah.
Switch up was great. The switch up was great. It just shows you guys' versatility, even though it already shows with your music that you put out before that. The entire thing is just like the instrumentation, the improv that you guys do with each record is crazy.
Thanks.
Of course. So when you guys record like these improv records, do you guys just essentially have a jam sesh, or is it more of you'll play something, send it over, they'll play something else on it, send it over, and you just build it?
It's a combination of that. This album started with jam sessions, and we recorded, reviewed, refined as a group, and then we kind of took it into our own realms of production, sent stems back and forth, and took the time to really dive in on our own after we had done that process.
We've been trying to figure out like a nice writing process, like a real process, where we're like, we'll do this and then we'll do this and we'll do this and then we'll have a great song, right? We've been trying to figure that out the past couple of years. And this seemed to work really well because since it started with just like a week of jamming and us recording it, all the music felt really true to us, and it all felt like really natural to play because it's what came out in the moment we were playing together.
Exactly.
And then to go back through and reorganize that and add more to it, and like Jake was saying, pass it along to each other. So I get to see the same idea kind of evolve, three different as we all added our own thing to it.
I feel like that's how most bands operate nowadays. It's just very convenient. And also you can get demo ears. So having fresh ears on it, playing something new will always like keep the momentum going at least.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to talk about Singularity? Like, what is it? Why that name?
Sure. I'll preface it, and I feel like Brandon might be the best one to dive into because he's done a lot of the writing as far as like as far as the monologues that are included in the album and what we've been sending to our fans and stuff. But generally the concept is we just wanted to start the conversation about a really kind of, unique situations humans are at this point, whereas like our existence and technology is becoming so intertwined that's affecting our lives in really unforeseen ways in the past. And we wanted to bring up that some people think it's really bad, some people think it's good. We wanted to kind of start the conversation and just, remind people that this is something we're dealing with, and so they can think about it and come to their own conclusion.
In our current age, it's hard not to ask ourselves what is a deeply important question. Is technology inherently a part of who we are, or is it fundamentally unnatural?
Yeah, I think with just everything, the way that the world is so interconnected and that we are so happily dependent on technology right now, it's like flash forward 80 years in their history books. Well, probably history iPads. Their history Kindles will be scrolling through, and this will be like a certain
history Kindles.
Man.
A lifetime of staring at screens.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
Literally a lifetime of staring at screens.
Yeah. And then like for us, not to give our age away, but we had home computers, and that was like a big shift in this whole thing. And now the computer's in our pocket 24/7. We rely on it. We're all using it in this like incredible way, and just like giving so much information to this big interconnected network. And part of me wonders if we're doing it out of convenience. Part of me wonders if we're kind of like ants in an anthill, or like organelles in a cell, things. We're just building something greater than ourselves, not because we know what we're doing, but just because we're compelled to do it naturally. And it's kind of cool to just, have that thought and then step back and be like, wow, look at all the shifts that are going on around us year to year. I mean, it's happening so fast.
Exactly. The best music is created organically.
Well, and so that's another thing too, because a lot of our music is the combination between using the technology that's available and trying to keep that organic essence alive through that.
Which you can 1000% hear that in the music, as far as you guys with the electronic feel, and then you with the live instrumentation in it. I can definitely hear the fusion again, like what you guys were mentioning earlier.
I think another cool thing about this album is that, based on the roots we were talking about before, bands used to make, and artists used to make like albums that flowed as one cohesive concept. Whereas now we live in this playlist and iTunes age where people just listen to one song. We feel like the art of the album has been lost a little bit. There's some great artists that still do that, but we wanted to actually take the chance to create a musical experience and not just a collection of songs. And so in essence, we were kind of striving for that rock opera concept that you get from like a Pink Floyd or like those bands back in the day. And this is our first attempt at doing something like that, but it's been a really great experience trying to put that together. It's been a journey.
Outside of the band, who is somebody that you would send a new song to for feedback?
There's like a lot of artists that we respect and have become friends with that we can shoot works in progress to. Often it's like secretly wanting them to collaborate. We're like, hey, check this out. Isn't it cool? You know, don't you want to play with us? But
We've all done those.
Yeah. Recently, you know, with this album coming out, we're putting the final touches on everything. I went through a bunch of our fans that have been like longtime supporters and followers, and like they're always keeping up with us. We always see them at shows when we hit the road, and sending it to a lot of them. And then I actually sent it to a lot of our new fans, people who are just checking out our stuff, just so we can kind of get both sides of that scale and see that with people.
Yeah, keeping everybody happy.
Yeah, or knowing who we're pissing off, so then we can move forward. Yeah.
Also that too.
But you know, I just want to get the feedback.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, negative press turns out to be like the best press for a lot of people. So
yeah, get a bunch of negative press until we're famous and we all have our own Kardashian.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. So, wild card question: do you guys have any recurring nightmares or funny dreams?
I don't have any recurring nightmares, but I will say that my dreams are insane sometimes. Like really depth. I remember actually while we were writing, it was probably from this. We were writing the monologues for this album. The monologues are all around, you know, like transhumanism, futurism, cryptocurrency, just like all of these like heavy things that are going on right now. And during that time, I had a wild dream that like in the future, you know, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. The rich have access to like these AI learning kind of modules. So this artificial intelligence works with your kids, helps them learn things at this rate that's like so crazy. So then like 50 years from now, we have all these like super rich, highly intelligent people who are just well beyond like the intelligence that we would know today. It's nearly alien. And then there's other people who are just normal and we're so disconnected from them. And like that dream felt like it, you know, lasted years. But I woke up in April, it was over.
That's some
I'm literally
shit.
sitting here like, yeah, I was literally sitting here like, wait, this is all your dream?
Yeah, I have really fun, but not a lot like recur.
I'm like, is this an article? Can I find this somewhere?
Yeah. Sounds like a sci-fi novel.
Yeah. What about you guys?
About
Any crazy dreams?
I had really intense dreams last night. Well, I don't know. I kept waking myself up laughing. I'd be like, oh shit, I was just laughing in my sleep. And that happened 3 times last night. So that
Were you high?
I wasn't. No, I had a great night's sleep. But I kept waking myself up laughing. I don't know. I don't know the last time that has happened. I don't remember the dreams, but I remember waking up.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Some days you wake up and it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
What about you, JJ?
You know, it's kind of interesting. I know they say everybody dreams, but I haven't remembered a dream in years. Like as far as I'm concerned, I don't dream.
I don't really remember the last dream I've had either. What were you saying?
So I was just actually thinking back to when we have been on the road and just staying in hotels and how oftentimes like I'll have these dreams that really play into what's happening in our lives. And just like there can become this like confusion between, okay, wait, did this actually happen yesterday on tour or was I dreaming this? Like, and waking up in a new hotel room, just being like, okay, which fucking city are we in right now?
Yeah.
This room is the same as the other place.
What are some of your metal influences, since there's a lot of that in the new record?
Polyphia, some
Animals.
older Animals as Leaders, yeah. Some of my older ones are Amon Amarth, Lamb of God.
Lamb of God has a couple new projects out, I think.
I gotta check back in on them. It's been a while since I've tuned into that.
Yeah.
I definitely like their earlier albums.
Yeah, I like a lot of stuff that I thought was really tough at the time, and then as I got older, I was like, oh, that's really not that tough. But like August Burns Red, Alisana, Yodos, like stuff that I thought was so cool because there's a guy screaming and it's really loud.
Exactly.
That's not that tough.
JJ, how about you?
Yeah, I guess mine all comes from like the earlier stuff. Like I guess when it wasn't like really metal yet, but you're kind of more like heavier classic rock stuff. And I guess
Sabbath.
yeah, the new Unfreeze album was really cool with how heavy that got. And then honestly, yeah, I love Polyphia. I think that was a huge influence into like why we kind of went this direction with the album, or seeing that it was possible, because they do combine kind of modern prog, like rock metal stuff, with
Yeah.
really, really technical
Yeah.
electronic production. So that was like a kind of a moment for me when Jake introduced me to them.
I think Brennan had the plug on the Polyphia, or was it?
I had
Oh,
the
really?
plug.
I think, yeah, he had the Polyphia plug.
Isn't it the best when you put everybody else on? It's like
Yeah.
the best feeling.
I think it's just cool how good music can do that. You know what I mean? Somebody showed that to me and it was so exciting that I was like, I got to show this to everyone else.
Exactly. And now everyone else is reaping the benefits because I showed them.
Right.
It's funny how people like, yeah, take that to heart. I don't know.
Yeah.
When someone's
It's like,
yeah, I showed them that. I
like
showed
an
them
ego
that.
play.
That was me.
Yeah, like, bro, I put you on. That was me. Like, okay, bro.
Well, yeah, I think it says a lot about how influential music is and how much that affects our identity and how we think about ourselves, you know?
Exactly. I feel like
Yeah.
music can definitely do a lot, and it can transcend the way that you view the world, the way that you view a scenario. It can change you as a person. So much can happen. What are you saying, JJ?
And I think it also comes down to, we love being the first or knowing about things before other people know about it. It's you're right. It totally feeds our ego that we're the ones that showed people and that we were in at the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like this band before they were cool, before they were popular.
They're like, now they just suck, bro. Like, they're sold out. Like,
And
fuck
I've
them,
also
man.
had the opposite experience too. Like when someone that I'm not really keen on shows me something, I'll like instantly have this thought in my head, like, oh, they're probably not that good. I don't really like this person that much. I'm not even gonna like give them the time of the day. Which is a weird thing.
Absolutely.
You know, it's been a while since that has happened, but I remember being younger and experiencing that a lot.
Every now and then you get surprised and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't judge a book, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's just too convenient to not do it. One of the heavy metal bands that I liked, as far as classic rock we're going with, I know that JJ mentioned that he was more into the heavy metal when it wasn't really that heavy, when it was more of a classic rocks. One of my biggest influences is definitely Black Sabbath and a little bit of Mayhem.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are even... Have you seen Lords of Chaos?
I have not. Wait, is that the documentary?
It's like it's kind of like a biopic on Mayhem.
Yes, I think I have. They're just crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Just kind of scary people.
It is crazy. And also how we're talking about the influence of like music, one of the guys in the band, they basically treated him like a poser because he wasn't really up on what they were listening to, and they treated him like a poser so much that he took all of their words so literally to heart that he ended up committing murders.
Yeah.
And it's like,
holy
that's
shit.
really, like, you gotta, I'm telling you, the movie is actually a really great movie. I think Macaulay Culkin's brother is the lead.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie. You gotta watch that movie. But I just brought it up because we were talking about how much music can influence people. And also that's a true story. Like, he really did it. He really did those things. So
and then it's started murdering people. He was like, dude, I put you on to murder, bro. Like, I was
literally. Literally.
Yeah.
Then the other guy, that's actually exactly what happened. The leader of the band was like, man, I taught you this. And it's just like, but I actually hurt people. It's crazy. It's craziness. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
So we will also be releasing each of the songs from the album as NFTs, which will also have the utility. So if you buy one of these, you're going to basically get a lifetime ticket to our hard ticket events, things that we're headlining. So as long as you hold one of these, you can come to any one of our shows. Or not anyone.
Forever.
As long as you hold it.
As long as you have it.
Yeah.
And then access to all the works and projects that we're working on, and just like we just have like a direct line of communication for the people who are holding those.
Yeah.
Pretty cool for us too. Yeah. I mean, if people want to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, it's Evanoff_music, right?
Yep.
Instagram. So yeah, if they follow us on there, then they can hear about, like, we've got a lot of other projects that are going to be released this week. Can I talk about the one that we're talking about, the 4-song EP?
Sure.
Yeah. So after we release this album, we're going to do an album, like a small EP of remixes and covers that we've been playing at our live shows for a while, but we haven't actually been able to release yet. So
Okay.
really, so if you like the heavy rock stuff, or if you like classic electronic tunes being performed by a live band, follow us on Instagram, and yeah, we'll give you the stuff.
Yeah.
Sick. Well, great talking with you guys. Hopefully I'll get to talk to you guys again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great talk. Thanks, Danny.
Yeah, thank you,
No
Danny.
problem.
Peace.
Peace. See you guys.